standing up and staring into the eyes of a raging, abusive, narcissistic person without saying a word and without getting away oftentimes can feel like a strength. So long as you're not meeting them at their level and you're not running away, you're proving that you're not fazed. But in reality, it's not a strength. It's a self-abandonment. Let's talk about what you should be doing instead. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, before we begin, I do want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Down in the description box right below this video, you're going to find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I take telephone calls and video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. Also, The Royal We has a private membership where you get daily support from me and from a growing community of people all over the world. We have a workout program for you. We have weekly fellowship. We have things to get you on the path to healing and beyond, all down in the description box right below this video. Head on down there, expand the description box, check out the resources. Now, let's get into this topic. Here is the uncomfortable truth. What we oftentimes see as a strength in dealing with narcissistic people, that is when they go into a rage, to look them dead in the eye, emotionless, gray rocking. Don't meet them at their level. Don't say anything in return. Don't run away. Just stare at them. We think of this as a strength, when in reality, the truth is that it's a form of self-abandonment. It's not a strength. A true strength would not even be in the situation. Face to face with a raging narcissistic monster, it is not, in fact, a strength. Now, unfortunately, many people learn this as a coping strategy, a coping mechanism, a survival tactic from early on in childhood. You see, children, if they're brought up in an abusive environment with an abusive father, an abusive mother, or narcissistic step-parents, people who yell and who scream and who shout and who go into their rooms terrorizing them, children have no options. As a child, you have no options. You can't run. You're told to get back and stand there. You can't fight back. You're too little. And so all you can do as a child is to stand there. And the only thing you can learn to protect yourself is to stare at them and to show them that you're unfazed at some point in time. That's the only strength that you can show. But in reality, everything inside of that child wants to leave, wants to run, or wishes they were bigger so they can trample that person. This oftentimes carries on into adulthood as a tactic. It becomes this symbol of strength. I can stand here and I can listen to the narcissistic person yelling and screaming and carrying on and watch that ugly narcissistic face shake and jiggle in their anger and their eyes squint, and I can stand and I can stare right at it, and it's not going to faze me. I'm not going to say anything back because I'm too strong. I'm not going to run away because I'm not going to let them know I'm afraid. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to stare at them and let them know that it doesn't bother me because that's strength. When in truth, you forgot about that child that really wanted to run, wanted to get the heck away. Because in reality, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be listening and looking at a face that's narcissistically yelling and screaming and spitting on you while they're yelling because they can't control their ugly facial shaking rage episodes. You don't want to be there. But you've abandoned yourself. You're abandoning even the reality that you don't even want to be there. You're abandoning yourself and calling it a strength. Self-abandonment is not a strength. Self-abandonment is ultimately what's keeping you in toxic relationships. And by the way, narcissists know this. A narcissist dream is to get you to this place of self-abandonment. They enjoy getting you at this place where you're silent and just staring them in the eyes and not saying anything back. To them, it's the pinnacle of control over you. They desire this. They desire to see you get to a place where you don't run, You don't try to hide. You don't leave. You don't say anything back. You just stand there and you listen to them. This is the pinnacle of supply, is to just have somebody stand there and listen to them while they yell, while they scream, while they throw their temper tantrum. And you, thinking that you're standing in your strength, showing them that you don't care, you're actually doing exactly what they want. They desire nothing more than for you to go nowhere but sit there and tolerate their nonsense, their rage. This is exactly what they want. The longer that you actually believe you're enduring their abuse and gaining strength somehow, the longer you're actually just feeding them. And they're being given the supply. And you are continuing to abandon yourself. And by the way, this self-abandonment leads to all kinds of resentment and bitterness. I've said this before in other videos, and I'll say it again. Resentment and bitterness has nothing to do with narcissistic people. You're not resentful and bitter towards what they've said or done. You're resentful and bitter because of your inaction, because of your inability to leave the situation. You're bitter and you're resentful because for far too long, you thought that standing there and staring at them and showing this strength, which is really self-abandonment, you thought that this was the answer, and it's not. You're bitter and resentful that you haven't left sooner. You haven't done anything about it sooner. And that's what we need to get to right now. It's time to end the self-abandonment. It's time to end this nonsense of I'm going to stand here and stare at this ugly, narcissistic punk who wants to yell, scream, shout, make his face jiggle, spit while he's talking, all this stupid stuff. This person doesn't deserve another moment of your time. Let this person live under the curse of his own abuse in this life. Let him go. This is what you need to do. And no, you do not have to meet them at their level and yell and scream and contort your face to make ugly faces and spit back. I mean, you can. See what happens is you yell back and spit in their face. You can try that, but it's not going to end very well. It's just going to keep you engaged. So don't do it. But what you do need to do is get the heck out. You don't have to meet them at their level, but you have to realize that they've got you in a game where they are keeping you at their level, even if you're not doing anything. You have to elevate yourself off that level. You have to get off the playing field. You have to go no contact. You have to get yourself out of the situation. And don't ever let a narcissistic person, whether it's a mom, a dad, or any of these ugly narcissists that yell, scream, and make their face shake with their ugliness, don't ever let them make you feel like you are quitting, or you're running away, or you're weak, or this or that. Listen, you're not running away from your problems. You're running away from theirs. And again, their whole nonsense about, oh, you're quitting and you're running away and you're weak, that's just another part of their tactic. You could stand there all day long and fight with them, and that's exactly what they want. These narcissistic people are ugly, evil entities that just want to argue and fight with people. The best thing to do is to get out, get off the playing field. You don't have to stand there and look them in the eye while their face is shaking and they're spittering out stupid nonsense words. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to. You're an adult. You're not that kid anymore that has nowhere to go. You're an adult now. You can go right out the front door. You can go to the neighbors. You can go to friends. You can go somewhere else. You can get out. And in getting out, that's your true strength, by the way. Your body will thank you because no longer will you keep yourself in this place of pretending to be strong when really you're abandoning yourself. Instead, you're going to team up with yourself and you're going to abandon the narcissist. You're going to abandon the yelling. You're going to abandon the screaming. You're going to abandon the abuse. That's what you're abandoning because you don't have to be a part of it. And you're really going to feel the strength. You think you felt strength by staring a narcissistic person in the eyes and not saying anything in return and letting them blow their steam? You think that's strength? You haven't experienced strength until you actually leave and say, don't contact me. Don't ever talk to me again. You contact me, I'll call the cops on you. Don't come near me. You haven't experienced strength until you've aligned yourself with good people and friends. And when the narcissistic person comes to yell at you, You're surrounded by people who've got your back. You haven't experienced strength until the narcissistic person has contacted you saying, you're not coming around anymore, this and that, and I'm not going to. Goodbye, stop calling me. This is where strength is. This is where you're going to find your strength. So stop playing on the narcissist level, closing your eyes or staring in their eyes, pretending that it's not bothering you. Stop the self-abandonment. You don't need to abandon yourself anymore. And as I said before, I'm here to help you through this. Down in the description box, right below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I take telephone calls and video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. So stop abandoning yourself. Head on down there, schedule some time with me. Let's talk about it. Also, don't forget the Royal We private membership is available for you, where you get daily support from me and a growing community of people from all over the world. Head on down to the description box. If you're brand new to the Royal We, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and so you don't miss any future Royal We content. Like this video, share it with somebody who needs to watch it, and I'll be back with more videos for you right here on the Royal We. Bye, everyone.